All right, thanks so much for joining us. My name is Kara Karma, and you are here with Live Music News and Review and Joe Marcinek of Joe Marcinek Band. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Why don't we start with, why don't you describe for the people who are watching and who are going to be watching later a little bit about your music and how you would describe your band.
First, I just got to introduce my guest over here, Little Miles. He's more interesting to look at than me, so that's why we had to sneak him in here. But so yeah, my name.
What's his name?
Oh, his name's Miles.
Miles. Okay.
Named after the great Miles Davis, of course.
Of course.
But yeah, my name's Joe Marcinek. I run this crazy project called the Joe Marcinek Band, where I feature different players from all over the country, and we almost never do the same lineup twice. So for this weekend, we've got Steve Mullets from Particle, Freak Bass, and Peter Koopmans from Family Groove Company. And then so the 2 weeks before, it was a completely different lineup. So it's always changing, and we'll go out for 3 or 4 days and do some shows, and then I'll cook up the next lineup.
How did this all get started? How did you come up with this?
It's kind of like a lifelong journey. So after I graduated college at Indiana State with a music business degree, I moved down to Alabama and did an internship at Arts Music Shop. Quick plug there. It's a great place. But I realized, I really love playing and writing music and being involved in it. So when I moved back home, I was fortunate enough to join a great band called Fresh Hops, who I still play with. We've been doing it for about 8 years now. And with playing with them, we got to meet a whole lot of other musicians. And that was kind of laid the groundwork for this whole idea of jamming. We used to do a jam night, and I always loved having different people come in and out. So really, this incarnation or this idea of the Joe Marcinek Band started about 4 years ago when my drummer, Pete, had moved back home. He was living in LA at the time, and he just moved back into town. And so it was like, I always wanted to do a band with Pete, but we didn't really have a set bass player, and we didn't have a set keyboardist. And since I was booking all the gigs, I thought I might as well put my name on it. A little shameless self-promotion. But so we had Pete and me, but we didn't have anyone else. And so we would book some local guys, and I always tried to get the best musicians around. Well, one of the problems with doing that is the best musicians are usually always working. So it was hard to get the same guys week after week. And after a couple of months, it just became what the band was doing. And it kind of just grew out of that organically from Northwest Indiana into Chicago. And then once Steve came in, it started including these national players and took on a whole life of its own.
Cool. Well, why don't you play some for us?
Yeah. So real quick, this is not the finished product, so you can't download this illegally because it's going to sound way better. But we just recorded an album, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But here's a little preview off there. It's one called Everyone Has Their Days. And, here we go. All right. So yeah, a little preview of it. We can cut it off during the guitar solo. No one wants to hear that.
I'm not sure about that. But on your website, it says in the copy that I've been seeing a lot is the Joe Marcinek Band is an ever-evolving mixture of original compositions and incredible musicians. Wait a minute, no, that's not what I want. That's not the one I want.
Who
Wait a minute.
wrote that?
I like. Well, that's true too, but a blend of jazz and funk with a cerebral emphasis on groove and improvisation, and that really made me. I thought that was well put, and also that seems to be exemplified in what you just played.
Yeah, I mean, it put Miles to sleep, but I think it's...
I thought you should have been dancing. You know, you were just kind of hanging out with the cat, but I thought dancing would have been a good way to hang out with the music.
We'd lose all our viewers.
Well, I didn't dance for a reason.
Popping up. Do you know what that is?
What's that?
There's like a little face that's coming across the screen. I guess that's our listener, maybe?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm just seeing things.
I don't see a face.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I see your face.
That's good.
But yeah, just talk to me about that track. Is this the sneak peek of the new song then?
Yeah, so obviously you could hear that Garrett Sayers playing the bass, and I was lucky enough to go out to Colorado and record with Joey Porter, Garrett, my buddy Pete, and then we had Gabe Mervine and Nick Gerlach play on there too. So yeah, that was one of the songs that we recorded, featured the bass solo and the drum solo by Pete. And it was just, the whole process was an absolute honor working with Joey. And I did the crowdfunding for this album, and we exceeded our goal, and it was just a whole amazing, humbling experience. I can't thank everyone enough. So I'm super excited to share that little bit with you. And then once the album finally comes out.
And when is that coming out again?
Hopefully soon. Joey's been kind of busy. He's doing the mixing for me. So whenever he's kind of home, you know, he's breaking away from his family to go mix my album. And I really appreciate everything he's doing too. So we're hoping here in the next month or two. But now it's like everything's booking up for the summer, and it's like I want to do a CD release party, but that might not happen till the fall with everyone's crazy schedule. So we'll see how that comes together.
Our viewer was telling you, I didn't see it, but he was giving you props. There's little the faces you were seeing on the lower right hand corner is little clapping hands, and that you see his face when he's giving you props. So he was clapping. That's what he was doing. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So tell me about recording this new album. Where did you record it? You didn't say that yet.
Yeah, it was at Scanhope Sound in Denver, just south of Denver, and it was with Josh Fairman. He was our engineer, and he just did an amazing job. He played with the band Kinetics, and he has a new group called Analog Sun. And so he was the engineer, and Joey kind of helped me produce the tracks a little bit with different ideas and just making my ideas funkier. And he's like, hey, let's slow this down and let's take some notes out. And I was like, wow, that's great. Wish I thought of that. No, but it was really just a whole amazing process. So we ended the year playing with the great Bernie Worrell. We did 3 shows over New Year's, and our thoughts and prayers go out to Bernie because he's sick right now. So, but we were just honored to play with him. And so that was how the year ended and began. And then basically the next day, we drove out to Colorado and recorded for 3 days straight, and got everything done. There's a couple of little keyboard stuff we were gonna add in, and we just got to finish the mixing, and then it'll be ready to go.
You're out of Indiana, right?
Yeah, Crown Point, Indiana is it's basically another suburb of Chicago in Northwest Indiana, just south of Gary.
And you're recording in Denver.
Yeah.
And you're playing all over the place.
Yeah,
you've got quite a reach.
I have a lot of miles.
Are you doing that in a van? How are you getting around?
Oh yeah, soccer mom minivan, rocking the dog. Real quick, hang on 1 second. I got a bunch of albums here, and I know I have that Rolling Stones album because I like looking that behind you. No, I had our apartment or house in college had a fire, and I think that's where that album went up in that fire. But yeah, just looking.
Do you like my albums?
Yeah, it's like looking at it. It's like, man, I used to have that album.
Yeah, I got a few good ones up there.
They're all good ones. Oh, Miles is back up. Hey, bud.
So why don't you play some more music for us, and then you can tell us about this run of shows you got coming up.
All right. So here, the next one we're going to do is going to be one of Joey's. Here's a preview of one he wrote called The Crescent Roll. So yeah, that one is The Crescent Roll. It's a tune Joey Porter wrote, and when we were talking about doing the project, see, Miles likes the song I didn't write. He's like, I'm out of here. This is boring. No, that's one Joey wrote, and so when we were talking about the project, he's like, hey, I'd love to record The Crescent Roll because it wasn't on any of the Motet or any of his albums, so that was a big honor too. Come here, buddy. Here, we'll just look at Miles. He'll give the interview. Got a nice little mustache. Man, what a difference. Zach Deputy did this really awesome podcast, and now I'm just goofing off with a cat.
That's the point, though. It's supposed to be informal. We get to listen to your music a bit and learn a little bit about you. It's great.
Yeah, I just
So
did want to say how awesome he was. That it's just amazing how he does, how he thinks of all that. And he had a good line in there. If you haven't seen that podcast, make sure you check that out. But about how music, is everything that came before you, and you kind of package it in your own way and send it out to the next generation. I just thought that was a great line.
yeah, that was a surprise to me. I wasn't expecting him to be like all of that to be there, like all of that, um, all that sound system and everything that he did there. I was a little blown away,
Yeah,
but
now,
it was cool.
I wanted to ask, was he at his house or was he on the road doing that?
I think he was at a stop on the road or at
Yeah,
his like
that's
manager's
awesome.
house or something like
He's
that.
like,
He was in like a garage.
right. He's like, I'm just gonna set up all my gear and rock.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, yeah, it was cool. Um, so you are going out. You're going to Columbus, Evansville, Kalamazoo, and do you pronounce it Neenah?
Yeah, you got it.
How do you pronounce it? All right, I've like worried that I've been pronouncing it incorrectly, but uh, um, yes, and Wisconsin. So these are all markets you've been to before.
Yep.
So tell me about this run of shows.
So we're heading out Wednesday, like you said, to Columbus, a place called Scarlet and Gray, and
Hmm.
so Chris over there is the guy who's booking the music and putting it all together. They do a weekly thing called Weird Wednesdays, and I know they've done over 100 shows. I want to say maybe 2 or 3 years they've been doing it, but it's like every Wednesday night at this place, it's packed. There's over 200 people in there on a Wednesday night. And it's
Hmm.
like, the first time we went, I was a little worried because it was like snowing really bad, and I'm coming from Indiana, and like, Chris, hey, should we just postpone this date? It's snowing really bad out here. And he's like, man, I guarantee you it's going to be packed. And so I'm worried driving, and we get there, and it's like, whoa, over 200 people, like just getting down the whole time. And so
Wow.
that first time I was in there, I fell in love, and I've been back probably 5 or 6 times. It was almost a year ago, actually, was the first time we went. So yeah, Scarlet and Gray is a great place to check out. I feel like I'm just doing a commercial for everyone. Like, hey, these people are awesome. These people are awesome. But they really are. And so, yeah, so it's like an amazing way to start a run, with just that much energy on a Wednesday night. So then we head to Lamasco's in Evansville, which is another amazing spot. Amy and Chris over there are doing great things. They just remodeled the place, got a really big stage, really good sound system. And so we'll be there for St. Patty's Day. And I'm sure that'll be fun. We'll all be wearing our green suits and drinking the green beers and getting crazy. And I believe they've got the local band Calabash is going to be on the bill with us. They're a really, really awesome band. I'm just plugging away. So from there, we head to Papa Pete's in Kalamazoo, which is a great music town, a good scene up there. And I got to play Papa Pete's, I think it was the fall of 2013 was the first Joe Marcinek Band show up there. And we went with Jen Hartswick, Allie Crawl, Janice Wallen from Family Groove, and Jesse Clayton from the MacBots. And so it was our first show in town, and we had Adam and Phil from Green Sky come in, and they were singing a couple of tunes with us and a couple other people sitting in. So this will be Joe Marcinek Band's first time back to Papa Pete's since that show, so we're pretty excited about that. And then we end at Cranky Pat's in Neenah, Wisconsin, which is a great venue up there. Oh, sorry, I got to go back one. On Friday, we've got Audiodacity and Everyday Junior joining us. So there'll be 2 good bands that night. And then on Saturday, it's a good friend of mine, Adam, and his concept project, Flow Poetry. So he'll be joining us. And Cranky Bats is cool because I've been up there with Steve Mullitz before. We did a show I think that was in the fall of 2013 too. So Steve's kind of a guy. He was like the first national kind of guest I had brought out, and so it's always fun to reconnect with Steve. I've probably played with him, 12 or 15 shows now, and so he knows the material really good. And it's like with Steve in the band, you don't even have to worry about anything. It's just like from the first note go. Everyone's already filled each other out. We know what the deal is, and we can get right into having fun. And so we always get to do some of his Particle songs. And I think I'm going to try to make him sing some Grateful Dead for this run, because I just found out last time that he does the other one. And I'm like, wow, why haven't we been playing this song, all these times we've been playing? So it's kind of cool to try to add a little bit of everything in all these shows, where you get the local musicians involved, and you have people like Steve and Freak Bass who've played all over the country. And so it kind of combines everything.
Sorry.
What is that? Sounds like you're in the dentist office or something.
And Freak Bass is coming. And Freak Bass, of course, I love Freak Bass. So we work with Freak Bass. I've had him on my other podcast. He's a great guy.
Yeah,
just coming off the London Bass
right.
show.
Did he just get in town today, or was it yesterday? I know he was in London.
I'm not sure, but he's got to have jet lag at least. Still.
We're gonna need some strong funk to wake him up. And I'm excited for teaming up with him, because we got to play with him. I think it was in the fall of 2014. We did a run with Freak Bass, and so it's going to be cool to bring some new songs that we didn't do last time. Like, I was asking him if he could sing some Sly Stone for us, and he was recommending some other songs. So we got some surprises in store with him.
Cool. Did you want to play another song before we finish up?
Yeah, I don't. I just wanted to. There was one other thing I wanted to go over. Oh, just thanking you guys and Simon Says and Live Music Daily and News and Reviews and all your guys' sites. Just thanking you guys so much for all your help. And I don't know. I was just ending with this thought. I was listening to that other podcast, and the way my band's working is almost like it's like a snapshot of like a brain. You have all these neurotransmitters, and like when I do these runs, there are all these little connections that like form a bigger connection, and then you can come back to them. And I don't know. I just had this like glimpse or this image in my head of kind of how this was all working, and it's a crazy thing to do. So yeah, just thank you guys so much. And we'll end with, let's see, what song should we give you to go out with? Or I'm sorry, did you have any other questions?
I didn't. Well, what is the future holds? Where are you guys going?
Oh,
what is the future for the Joe Marcinek Band?
We just got asked to play the Wani Fest in Florida, and that's pretty crazy, because I've been watching that fest basically since they started, and I was just like, wow, those are the best bands playing out there right now. And to see my name on the lineup is great. Unbelievable. So we're going to do a run in April with Tony Hall and Alvin Ford Jr. from Dumpster Funk, and then Holly Bowling's going to join us on keyboards, and I believe Danny J from Comeback Alice, and Wanjaman, who used to play with Cope. So we got a fun little run starting April 13th. We'll be in Atlanta at Aisle 5 with some of the guys from Copious Jones down there. Then we're going to Wani. Then we're going to do Skipper Smokehouse in Tampa on the 15th, and then end in Boca Raton at the Funky Biscuit on the 16th. So yeah, fun one in April, and then.
So when you come to the Northeast?
I need to get back there really soon. Was hoping that it would have been in the spring, but it was just the way everything was scheduling up. It wasn't able to happen, but we got some good Ohio stuff coming up, and we'll probably be back out by you guys late summer or early fall, kind of somewhere around there.
All right. Well, you make sure you let me know, all right? Because I want to come see you.
And thank you so much.
All right, we'll end with your music, all
Okay,
right?
so here's one. We'll let it play out. Is called George Washington, and I'll get Miles. So yeah, that's a little fun one off there.
I like the cat. That was great. All right, Joe, thank you so much. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate you taking the time with me today.
Yeah,
This was really fun.
thank you.
And it's so nice to be able to get to know you in person and face to face. And I'm looking forward to you coming to the Northeast
All
and we'll chill.
right. Okay.
All right.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks so much, and have a great run this weekend. And I can't wait to hear all about it.
All right. We'll see you soon.
Bye bye.